The Rangers defeat the Tampa Bay Lightning 6-3 in a very spirited affair at Madison Square Garden. This was the first time these two teams had played in a while. It was the first time they played at MSG since opening night of the season. And the Rangers have had good success versus Tampa. This was kind of an unexpected, even though these are teams that, of course, played each other in the conference final last year, there was a lot going on in this game. It was eventful. Now, first off, Patrick Kane was out due to a lower body injury. I don't think it's anything serious. They really don't skip a beat. Like, for me, if Patrick Kane were to somehow, let's say, miss some playoff time, I don't mind it as currently constituted, but I know I'm kind of more anti-Patrick Kane than maybe most. But more noteworthy is that, so they went with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen. Jacob Trouba leaves the game late in the first with what appeared to probably be a concussion. It was termed an upper body injury, and it was kind of a sly, dirty sort of slew foot by Corey Perry. And the Rangers were kind of going into Corey Perry all night long until the very end. Clearly they saw that. And look, when it's someone like him who has a reputation, it's hard to think that it was anything innocent. But it may have appeared that way at first. But Trouba ends up in an awkward position and kind of bangs his face right into the ice. And at first I kind of thought it looked weird from the beginning. I thought maybe it's a back injury, but considering it's upper body, it's probably concussion. The good news is that Gerard Gallant says that Trouba will travel with the team to St. Louis. So if it was really bad, I don't think that he would be traveling with the team. Now, does it mean he'll play tomorrow? Maybe not, but what's the need to really have him in there anyway? So as far as that goes, one would think Patrick Kane wouldn't play. I guess the point is this. The Rangers might be short a man tomorrow. Maybe they go 11 forward, 6 defensemen. Maybe they'll call someone up, but the lineup might look a little bit different. But they were kind of fortunate to have had 7 defensemen already in there for this particular game. But I think that Kane will be all right. I think that I'm more concerned about Trouba, but I think that he'll be all right as well. But it looked pretty ugly. He was totally, he didn't look wobbly or anything. He looked, no worse for wear. Skated off fine, but was a pretty ugly looking sort of fall. And again, the Rangers were going after Corey Perry. This was a game that had a lot of fights. And this was these two teams, they kind of they know where they're at, especially Tampa. Tampa knows they are going to be the 3 seed in the Atlantic Division. They know that. They know that it's already locked in that it's Toronto, Tampa. For the Rangers, same sort of thing. There is a small prayer that they could elevate. They are 3 points on the Devils right now, but I don't think the Rangers are going to change the way they play to get there, if it even got close, right? So this was just a game on the schedule. And, the Rangers really jumped out to an early lead, but this was the score is a bit misleading. This was a very close game for most of the way, but the Rangers in the third period has been very good. The Rangers, that has been in the Gerard Gallant era, that has kind of been their calling card. Of course, you're never going to be perfect, and we've seen some bad stretches, but generally speaking, in the, what is it now, almost 160 regular season games, and I'm not going to include the playoffs, but I could. But yeah, third period, it's been a really, really good team, and they had a lead going to the third, and they kept it. But in this game, individually, the main stars were Tyler Motte and Chris Kreider. Now, to be fair, both of Tyler Motte's goals were not great by Vasilevsky, especially one of them, but really both of them. But hey, he was so trying to get that hat trick. He had 7 shots on goal. It's too bad there was no empty net situation. The Rangers made it 6-3 because, that could have been a thing. It would have been cool to see Tyler Motte get a hat trick. But Tyler Motte, look, since he's been acquired by the Rangers, it's worked out pretty well. He's got 5 goals with the Rangers in 20 games, 5 goals and 4 assists. Not bad production for Tyler Motte, who the last go around, you liked what you saw, but he had no regular season goals. Granted, he did get hurt, but even in the playoffs, there was a lot of games, but not a whole lot of offensive production. We're kind of seeing a little bit of that now, which is what makes Tyler Motte a really good 4th line player. Of note as well, with Kane out, VZ originally, and I guess probably for the most part, was with Zibanejad and Kreider. So he kind of took that Kane spot. So Motte gets the 2 goals, and then Chris Kreider also gets 2 goals. And it's typical for him. One was a deflection, and one was just right at the goal mouth. So it's Vasilevsky versus Shesterkin. I thought Igor was really good. He gave 3 goals, but 28 saves on 31 shots. I thought he played very, very well. The goals he allowed really weren't poor at all, and the saves were good. So I think Igor's really locked in right now. So Chris Kreider gets on the board. Now, first off, there is a penalty. Steven Stamkos slashes Vinny Trocheck, and the Rangers go to the power play, and they score on it. And look, the power play did not miss Patrick Kane. Tarasenko was in the spot, and Tarasenko was very involved in this goal. Chris Kreider scores his 34th goal of the season from Tarasenko and Zibanejad. This was a shot by Tarasenko, perfect deflection by Kreider. The Rangers take a 1-0 lead. Then, very soon after that, it's the kid line getting involved. Kaapo Kakko scores his 17th goal of the season from Hedl and Miller. A nice shot by Kakko from the right side. It's like you want to see more of that from him. That was exactly what you're looking for. And the Rangers take a 2-0 lead. It'd be cool to see him somehow reach 20. He's got 4 games to get 3 goals. I don't think he'll get there, but something to look out for. So 2-0 Rangers. Then at 10:21, Tyler Motte scores. And that's a bad goal by Vasilevsky. It was far out, just kind of took a shot on net, which is why you do it. But he scores, and it's his 7th goal overall combined with the Senators and the Rangers, assisted by Goodrow and Schneider. And 7 seconds later, Alexi Lafreniere high sticks Ross Colton at 10:28, and Tampa Bay scores immediately. It's a goal by Alex Killorn, who's a bit of a Ranger killer, and more than a bit of a Ranger killer over the years. Killorn and Palat stand out, kind of even though they are like kind of top Lightning players, like not the Stamkoses, the Kucherovs, the points, but Killorn has scored big goals versus the Rangers. This is not a big one, but it's his 25th goal of the season from Sergachev and Kucherov. The Killorn goal was kind of similar to Kreider, just an easy deflection. And so it is 3-1 Rangers at that point. Then things start to get a little bit nasty at 17:09. Now at this point, Trouba has already gotten hurt. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Actually, long before the Rangers. I think it was actually the Kakko goal. It had happened before the Kakko goal where Trouba gets hurt. At 17:09, there's a fight between Pat Maroon and Ben Harper, and Maroon gets the extra 2. And we saw that a few times today where Tampa Bay was the absolute aggressor in these fights, and Maroon, deservedly so, gets the extra 2 minutes. The Rangers don't score on that power play. And then at the end of the period, Tampa's kind of coming on at this point, and Keandre Miller takes a high-sticking penalty at 19:54. The Rangers do kill that off. We go to the second. In the second, Tampa's continuing their good play, right? So it's kind of different stretches. Rangers start out good, then it's Tampa. And it's actually Darren Radish, who was in the Ranger. He was with Hartford last season. I think it was just for one. Maybe it might have been a couple. He never actually played. He was with the Rangers in like preseason and might have had some games in exhibition, but never actually made it up with the big club. But Radish, the defenseman, scores his first goal of the season. His first goal of the season, of course, from Killorn and Hagel. And this was at one point. The goal was awarded to Hagel, but I think this is the correct call. It went off for Braden Schneider. It was deflected right off of Schneider's stick. Again, that Harper-Schneider pair, you don't want to see it. You don't want to see it. And I'm going to give Ben Harper credit. Don't worry. By the end of this, I'm going to give Ben Harper credit. Not for necessarily his play, but just for what he did. But it's 3-2 at this point. But 15 seconds later, Tyler Motte back on the board. His 2nd goal of the night, his 8th goal of the season from Lafreniere and Goodrow. So give Barclay Goodrow 2 assists. And doing it against his former team. So 4-2, and Motte, he's an energizer bunny. Really is, where, he's quick with the turnovers, he does the little things, and he's got a little bit of speed, which Rangers don't really have much of. And so Motte makes it 4-2 with that goal. Then things get a little bit crazy at 11:34. Brandon Hagel scores he has 28 goals. Brandon Hagel, that was a good acquisition. A lot better than what's looking like Tanner Jeannot, but I digress. Hagel's 28th goal of the season from Cirelli and Hedman makes it 4-3. Igor did everything he could to stop this. It was originally Cirelli on a breakaway who beats Adam Fox, and then Hagel kind of beats Lindgren, and it's a goal. Again, Igor did everything he could, but it wasn't certain that it was a goal. And Alex Killorn just ridiculously goes in there and kind of just spears Shesterkin. And so that causes a whole melee with Lindgren involved. I think Cirelli honestly might have gotten hurt in the scrum. So I don't think Cirelli returned. So the Rangers end up with a power play on this, where Killorn is called for slashing, and Lindgren and Cirelli both go off for roughing. And it was, a lot of trash talk and just, I'm not surprised, in the penalty box between Lindgren and mostly Cirelli, but it was Kaloran that slashed Igor. Rangers do not score on this power play. And then you get another fight at 16-13, Corey Perry and Trocheck. And, Perry might have been the aggressor here, but the Rangers were clearly, they knew about the Trouba situation, I think is what I saw. But Trocheck, he got one good punch in. Perry kind of won the fight, but Trocheck did get a nice blow in there. And so that happens. Then in 1925, another fight. And it was a clean hit by Braden Schneider, similar to the ones you see by Jacob Trouba. Really nice hit by Schneider. He hits, I forget who he hit. It wasn't Colton. It was Nick Paul. He hit Nick Paul, and then Colton comes in there, and he gets, deservedly so, 10-minute misconduct, 5 for fighting, and then, the 2 minutes for instigating. And the Rangers get a power play. They don't score on that one either. So the score remains 4-3 heading into the third. In the third, Rangers are starting to play better. Things are starting to become a little less chippy, but it comes back a bit. Chris Kreider scores his second of the night, his 35th goal of the season from Zibanejad and Fox. A really nice move by Zibanejad. It goes off the post. Really, just a great creativity. And then Kreider just buries it easily. So, Vasilevsky was trying to keep him in it. It gives the Rangers a 5-3 lead. Then they get a power play at 12:41. Kucherov trips Kakko, and the Rangers really seal it. It's a goal by Artemi Panarin. And Panarin has been scoring more on the power play, it seems, lately. A really nice wrist shot. Panarin scores his 26th goal of the season from Mika, who had 3 assists on the night, and Fox. So it's 6-3. And then you get one more fight at the very end. It was kind of, it was Ben Harpur versus Corey Perry. And Harpur really kicked his ass. He really did. It was, give Harpur credit. He was involved. He was sticking up for his teammates. He's not all that good, but he is a very good teammate. And, props to him for that. So that was kind of a fun way to end it, to see Corey Perry on his ass. But, Rangers win at 6-3. Played pretty well. It was a fun game. It was like I said, I'm using the word, spirited, unexpectedly because of the sort of playoff status of both teams. But like I said, you can't underestimate the fact they played each other in the Eastern Conference Final last year. So now the Rangers quickly, it's their last back-to-back of the regular season. They go to St. Louis in what will be the return of Vladimir Tarasenko. Also Nico Mikkola, but more so Vlad Tarasenko. So that'll be interesting. I'm sure they'll give him a nice tribute. He really, he'll go down as one of the best St. Louis Blues players of all time, and he helped them win a cup in 2019. Of course, Sammy Blais, of course, the Rangers, Pavel Buchnevich might be, I gotta see, he might be injured right now. Obviously, the Rangers have played Buchnevich a bunch since he's been traded. But Sammy Blais, this will be the first time they're playing against Sammy Blais. I wouldn't be surprised if he scores. I just kind of have a feeling. We'll see. I hope I'm wrong, but don't be surprised if Sammy Blais gets a goal. I'm sure Jaro Halak will be in net. And yeah, I'm kind of expecting the Rangers to not play so well tomorrow night after tonight's game, but maybe I'm wrong. St. Louis is a team that's out of the playoffs. They've been playing pretty competitively, even though they kind of sold a bunch of pieces. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to seeing kind of the Tarasenko reception more than anything. And so, yeah, only 4 games left in the season. Again, Rangers beat the Tampa Bay Lightning 6-3.